The moon rests tonight on the rim of the quiet horizon, yet its silver seems shy, for I have laid open a longing brighter than its glow. In the hush between heartbeats, I confess a truth carved into every breath. I need someone who will love me in the silence beyond applause, when royal gardens empty and even the faintest footstep of duty has drifted away. Let that love not measure my height from the desert floor to crown, but trace instead the pulse deep beneath my collar, learning the fragile rhythm I have hidden beneath layers of steadfast smiles. I sit beneath a solemn sky that has watched kingdoms rise and merge with sand, but still I am startled by the gravity of a single whisper that travels like dawn across my ribcage. Love me for the man who stumbles, not for the prince who never may. Bid me stand barefoot upon honest ground, where the dust of my own history does not blind you, and see the slight tremor in my hands when I reach out, uncertain if communion endures when spotlight fades. I seek a companion who hears my voice before my title, who feels the quiver in each line of poetry I surrender to nightfall. My story has been scribed in thunderous calligraphy through years of ceremony and creed, yet tucked behind that grand narrative lies a simpler wish. That someone might gather the overlooked commas of my thoughts, the candid pauses between commands, and read them aloud with a tenderness that undoes my armor. Let them decipher the unsent letters drifting in my mind, letters where I speak not of triumph or lineage, but of the longing to share a cup of tea while morning is still undecided about its own brightness. Where trumpets once defined my arrival, may gentle laughter take their place, echoing quietly in corridors no marble column can constrain. I yearn for love that salts my shoulders with trust so pure I forget the weight of heraldic expectation. Beside such devotion, I would willingly fold my standards, for the truest banner is sewn within the chambers of a faithful heart. Let us pledge allegiance not to thrones or treaties, but to the unspoken vow glowing in intertwined hands. If destiny has dressed me in robes of grandeur, let true affection undress every hesitation, revealing the humble architect beneath. Walk with me through rooms where chandeliers attempt to outshine the sun's native courage, then slip outside to watch dawn unlace the horizon, where every petal of light belongs to everyone. There, love need not bow, it simply breathes, and breathing becomes our shared anthem. Some evenings, I observe my reflection in the still water of an unannounced courtyard fountain, and I wonder whether the ripples resemble applause or doubt. In those wavering mirrors, I want a voice to approach and assure me that even the strongest ripple settles into calm when met with sincere affection. Let us promise to recognize each other not by silhouettes carved in ceremony, but by the signature of hope glowing behind our eyes. When storms approach, as storms always do, I want to stand shoulder to shoulder with someone whose faith in me is not eclipsed by thunder. Let that person see the flash of lightning in my flaws and still smile, for lightning, too, is only sky revealing its raw electricity. Together, we will gather rain like blessings, letting every drop baptize us into new courage. Imagine an afternoon when we slip away from gilded halls to make a cradle of whispering palms. There, I would speak plainly. I, inheritor of 100 promises, offer a single vow, to love you with deliberate sincerity, without employing 1,000 metaphors to hide my trembling truth. I need someone whose return is never dictated by the predictable swing of palace gates, but by the magnetic pull of affection that knows no iron locks. I have wandered through vistas where falcons ride the wind, teaching me sovereignty can be silent, dignified, and still free. From them I learned that freedom without love is a sky without horizon. Teach me, in turn, that loyalty without tenderness is a throne without cushion. Let us weave both into one enduring canopy, expansive enough for every cherished secret. There will be nights when protocol insists I host constellations of dignitaries, yet even then, I will search the crowded room for the single star whose gaze steadies mine, reminding me where home truly lies. May we write our legacy not in the ink of decrees, but in the soft script of shared mornings, where the day begins not with salute but with a gentle, "Good morning, my heart." And when time finally unspools all of its threads, may we stand upon the tapestry we have woven, feet bare, hearts unburdened, imperfections embroidered as luminous knots of experience, knowing that love, in the end, proved mightier than any crest. For I need someone who truly loves me, and in that love, I will have found the most radiant kingdom. Until that moment arrives, I continue to pen my hopes on the silent parchment of twilight, releasing each word like a lantern to the sky, trusting that its gentle flame will guide the one who understands. My crown is merely borrowed light, only your unwavering love can make it shine. In the quiet aftermath of my confession, dusk unrolls its lavender scarf across the sky, and I imagine your silhouette stepping out of twilight, carrying the scent of rain-kissed jasmine. I feel the air pulse with possibility, like a drumbeat echoing through corridors of expectation, yet all pomp recedes when I picture the soft certainty in your gaze. Let the nightingales hush their elaborate praise songs, your heartbeat alone is enough music to guide me home. I will abandon every ceremonial torch just to walk with you by the silver thread of the moon, where our shadows merge into one seamless promise. I see us wandering far beyond palace gates, where wildflowers have no need to know our titles, they greet us only by the warmth of our laughter. There, I will confess the stories childhood left half told, the fears that hid behind brave declarations, the bitter taste of triumph when tasted alone. Share with me, too, the small rebellions that shaped your spirit, every moment you chose tenderness over grandeur, and let those memories intertwine with mine until our histories feel written by the same compassionate hand. There will be mornings when dawn slips in like an excited conspirator, tugging me from silk blankets to chase the first glow. I will wake you gently, whispering that sunrise waits for no crown, but it always pauses for love. Hand in hand, we will stand on a balcony where gold haze pools, our eyes reflecting constellations that dared become daylight. In those quiet minutes, no decree will matter more than the subtle curve of your smile as sunshine paints your cheek. Yet daylight is not only gentle, it reveals imperfections without apology. When your gaze discovers the scars my armor once concealed, let it linger without flinching. Each scar is a chapter in a saga of duty fulfilled, but also a map leading to the fragile heart beneath. Trace them like secret constellations, and I shall memorize every freckle of doubt upon your own brave skin, honoring them as guideposts rather than blemishes. I dream of afternoons where the world's clamor dulls to a hush and we retreat to a library high above the city buzz. Shelves heavy with histories will surround us like silent witnesses, but you will choose a single, weathered book of poetry, its pages fluttering with the sigh of 1,000 untold feelings. We will read aloud until language itself grows dizzy, then close the cover, letting our hushed breaths fill the space between words the poets forgot to craft. Evening will sometimes arrive curtained in storms, thunder knocking like an impatient guest at every glass pane. On those nights, let us refuse fear. I will pull you close and together we will narrate tales for each thunderclap, stories of distant sailors finding shore, of phoenixes reclaiming the sky after flame. As lightning forks across clouds, we will count its brilliant veins, reminding each other that brightness often wears the costume of unrest before it finds peace. Then, when calm returns and stars re-emerge like scattered jewels, we can lie upon cool marble and invent new constellations of our own. Perhaps a pair of entwined hands, a rising falcon of hope, a quiet lantern floating eternally upward. We will name them after virtues we refuse to relinquish, loyalty, mercy, patience, and vow to guide our actions by their celestial compass. There will be times the realm demands my presence at distant summits, and corridors of power will attempt to swallow my hours. In those stretches of absence, I will carry a token of your essence, a line of your handwriting tucked near my heart, a memory of your laughter echoing through my thoughts. Each decision made beneath towering chandeliers will be measured beside one simple question: does it honor the future we craft together in candlelit whispers? On the day I return, I will bypass every formal reception to meet you beneath the humble archway where you first called me by my name alone. There, without witness but the loyal wind, I will kneel, no imperial gesture, only a man returning to the safe harbor of affection. I will gift you not rubies or emeralds, but the newest stanza my travels inspired, words strung like prayer beads, each syllable polished by longing. When age tips gold into our hair and laughter lines into our skin, I imagine us seated beneath an ancient olive tree, its roots gripped firm around stories older than empires. Children's voices will echo in open fields, and we will clasp wrinkled hands, marveling at how swiftly life blooms from a single vow. We will teach them that kingdoms can crumble, but kindness builds fortresses the centuries cannot breach. One day, twilight will come softly to close our final chapter. I do not fear that hush, for by then my greatest ordinance will already be etched into living memory. That love, once found, can transform the pulse of an entire land. Let the chronicles recall fewer achievements etched on stone and more embraces etched in the hearts of those who witnessed us choose humility over spectacle. Until that quiet goodbye, I continue to send these lantern words aloft, trusting their glow will find you, even if distance still stands between us. Follow their shimmering footprints across the dark, know they were released from a heart ready to surrender every crown's illusion for the steady, irreplaceable truth of someone who truly loves me. I spoke to my father beneath the hush of evening lamps, confessing that my future already sings with a voice not my own but ours. He listened, crown tilted, weighing tradition against the tremor in his son's breathing. I saw something soften in his eyes, a recognition that dynasties endure not by stone and scroll alone but by the courage to let a new melody enter the hall. His blessing was not a trumpet blast, it was a quiet nod, yet it sounded louder inside me than any fanfare.